In this video, I'm going to be breaking down the exact trust social funnel that I use to generate 1 million views per month and over $10,000 in my business. So over the next 5 minutes, I'm going to break down exactly how you can implement every single piece of the funnel and use it for yourself. And the reason why this funnel works so well in the first place is not only because it's backed by common sense, but also years and years of research in the business space. And that's because at the end of the day, branding equals trust, meaning in order to make the market trust you, they need to see you a lot. And what's going to allow you to go from 5 to 10K a month, working endless hours every single day on your clients, is a funnel. It's having a good lead/customer journey in the first place. And at the end of the day, that's all a funnel is. So without further ado, I'm just going to hop straight into it. So this is the trust funnel, and you might be looking at this thinking like this is, overly simple. There's not enough to it. But when it comes to funnels, there really doesn't need to be a whole lot to it when it comes to social media. And so that's why the trust funnel really comes down to simplicity, but acting on every single part of the funnel so you can really nurture leads. And the reason why trust is so important is because so many people are posting on social media, so many people are trying to market you something. And for that reason, consumers have become adept to actually verify who that person is and really do their due diligence before just leaping into any sort of purchase, whether you're selling a course, whether you're selling a one-on-one program, whether you're selling a group coaching, no matter what it is. And that doesn't mean that you need to be cold outreaching and sending 15 different follow-ups to connect with these people, because if you do content the right way and you build a personal brand the right way, you can have this all done on autopilot by creating content and having the systems in place. And the reason why it's so important is because Google literally did a study called the 7-Eleven rule, which explains that a viewer needs to consume 7 hours of your content with 11 different touch points on 4 different platforms. And this really just emphasizes how much they need to really see you before even considering any sort of purchase. And so back to the trust funnel here, what that looks like. The way that you're going to build that trust through repetition is going to be at the top of this planned and executed short form content. And so when I say planned, I mean there has to be some thought that goes into this content. It needs to be planned ahead of time. The quality, the value, it all needs to be there so that this short form content is something that's valuable, something that people like watching. And then when it comes to executing, it means that you need to have loads of this content going out on all platforms. Because if you think about it, short form content should be the main source of volume when it comes to your marketing. Because if you do short form the right way, you can be reaching millions and millions of people across platforms for a very low cost when compared to running ads. And so that's the first step here, planned and executed short form content. But the second step right here is going to be the lead nurturing process, because short form content alone is not really enough to nurture and warm up these leads. Like you could have leads convert from short form content alone, just from posting every single day. They keep seeing it, and it's so full of value, and the sauce is there, and they're just ready to go to your link in bio, go through your funnel, book a call with you, opt into your community, whatever it is. But that's usually not really the case. And so that's why you need to have lead nurturing processes in place. And I say via content because I give these leads other sources of content to pull this value from and to consume more of your stuff. And so if we go back to like the 7-Eleven rule, you need to have leads basically consume 7 hours of content, right? How is a single lead going to consume 7 hours of content? Let's say the process of your prospect takes a full month, right? Let's say every prospect that comes into your funnel follows you takes on average about a month to become a client, to actually, pay you. And so with that being said, they need to consume around 7 hours of content. Let's just, general rule of thumb has to be around that. It's going to be very difficult, if not impossible, to have them consume all that content through 30 to second, videos on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And so that's where lead nurturing processes comes in. That's where having things like YouTube, having things like a newsletter, and having things like a lead magnet are really important in other steps of this lead nurturing process. And that's why free value is so important, because everyone talks about, free value. Hormozi talks about free value. And the reason why it's so important is because people are so incentivized to get it, because it's free value, creates reciprocity. And also they're consuming your content as well, right? They're consuming loads and loads of content. And because it's free, they're more incentivized to actually consume it. And so what that can look like is like YouTube long form. That's really great because this is long content, right? These can be 10 to 30-minute videos, like the video you're watching right now. So this can really nurture those leads and get that watch time in there, like a lot more than just short form. And the newsletter, you should think of this the same way that you think of YouTube. you can literally be taking your YouTube scripts and turning those into newsletters, vice versa, right? And so newsletters is another form of long form content, right? They really get to know you, and they're really spending more time on that, whether it's reading your newsletter or watching your YouTube videos that are full of value. And the way that this funnel really works is based around value, like I was saying. And so think about it. If your short form content is really valuable, if they're getting a solution, if they're getting help, if they're getting better just by watching your shorts, they're going to have the mindset of like, okay, well, if the shorts are so good, I can only imagine how good the YouTube's going to be, how good this newsletter is going to be. Oh, I want to, opt into their email list by getting this lead magnet, right? Because the lead magnet just follows back to the newsletter, to sequences. And it's going to make them think like, if the value of this, I perceive this as so valuable, then this can be, this has got to be way more valuable. This is just the funnel of value, the funnel of trust. And so the last process here right here is systems to convert, right? Because you've nurtured the lead, and at this point, within, let's say, random average, let's say it's a month, they've gone through the short form content, they're still seeing it, they're still getting hit with it. You might have even thrown in retargeting ads, right, in between right here, and then they're watching the YouTube, reading the newsletters, they've gone through your lead magnets, they're in your email list. Now it's at the stage where you need systems to convert, right? You need to convert through that email list. You need to convert through your stories on Instagram. You need to convert on YouTube. So you need those systems to convert, whether they book a call, what your sales processes look like, what the processes look like following up with leads in the DMs to close, what your stories look like on Instagram to convert, the way you're doing CTAs on your newsletters for your email list, things like that. Those are systems to convert, because a lot of people, you can crack these two things, but if you don't know how to sneak in the systems to convert the right way, or you just forget about it, scenario one, you might be hard selling to all of your audience, and people don't appreciate that. People don't want to see that. You have to be smart about it. And then scenario two, if you're not doing it at all, no conversions are really going to be made, right? So you need to do it in a subtle way. And my top pieces of advice for that are Instagram stories within your newsletter email list, and in Instagram DMs, by organizing and tracking all the leads that you have in there, warming them up the correct way, and having these systems, having these processes to convert the right way is going to boost your conversion rate so much. And then at the very bottom of it, having those sales processes to actually understand your prospect, actually create the right offer, are very valuable, but that's a topic for another video. And so this is the trust funnel right here, and I hope this was valuable to you. If it was, go ahead and drop a like and subscribe to this channel, because I'm going to be posting a whole bunch more content like this, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.